Hey, you're still watching C Today Business on the C Morning Show. Now, one of the Indonesia's biggest cinema chain, Cinema XX1, is well on its way for initial public offering. The limited initial offering ended on July 14. Now, the public offering will be open during tomorrow, July 27th to the 31st, right here. And then the date of recording that is going to be offered for the IPO going to be on the floor is going to be on the August of the 2nd, 2023. Now, PT Nusantara Sejahtera Raya or CNMA will be listed on the Indonesian Stock Exchange on August the 2nd. So you have time to pre-order it starting tomorrow, or you can wait until August 2nd to buy during the IPO. Now, the company aims to raise around 2.25 trillion rupiah to 2.4 trillion, or around 160 million US dollars. 10% of the available shares, or around 83 million shares at around 270 rupiah per shares. Now, PT Nusantara Sejahtera, who owns Cinema XX1, is one of the largest one with 225 movie chains, cinema chains around the country, 55 cities throughout the nation, with at least half of the ticket sales in the country alone. Now, apart from the ticket sales, they are also making money from F&B, advertising, and digital platform, and even others. Overall revenue since the pandemic show an increase, especially after the public restrictions being lifted. And we can see right here, there's a jump increase between 2021 to 2022 of 243%. However, the income after expenses in 2020 and 2021 did not go so well for XX1. As you can see, they actually owe a lot of money during those periods. Now, if we look at the revenue earlier, currently the mainstream of the revenue for XX1 is from ticket sales, followed by their food and beverages, around 30%, and their popcorn stands that you can see popping up all around the mall if you are here in Indonesia. Meanwhile, the price sales value at 4.8 times, and the price per earning is at the staggering of 46 times, all the way to 49 times. Now, the price to book value we can see here is around 5.5 times to 5.6. Now, to discuss more on this one, I'm going to invite our market enthusiast Dani Rachmat on the program to talk about more. How was the potential? If it's a good number, is it bad numbers, or like how we're gonna do with this? Mas Dani, thank you for coming in. This is one of the exciting one. We're gonna talk more about this, and then we're gonna look at the pair. We're gonna look at the PVP, and then if it's gonna a good market. But again, before we move on, I wanna make sure our audience know that I need to clarify that our discussion about stocks are solely for educational purposes. Yes. We're not recommending any of this. Again, if you're investing, just know there's involved risk, and individuals should seek for professional advice before making any investment. And if you see on Mas Dani Instagram, I ask the questions like, when should I buy this? So you can discuss it, of course, on Instagram. Now let's talk about this. Now let's discuss on the price to earning, price to book value ratio right away. What do you think? Is this something that what should we know about these numbers?
Yeah, for this price to earning, as an investor, I always look at the price to earning because for the price that I pay, how long will I get it back, right?
Okay.
For this, the earning as per December 2022 only 6 per share, 6 rupiah per share.
6 rupiah per share.
Yes. Compared to prior to pandemic, it's around 16.
Oh, okay.
Mistaken. So way lower, way lower. So if this PE 46 times, meaning that if I buy the stock at 270 rupiah per shares, I will get my money back within 46 years.
46 years?
Can you wait that long? I mean, this is from the 2022 data only. We still don't know how
their performance is gonna be in the future. But like from the time being, what we're seeing is the price to earnings right now is 46 times, and it gonna take.
But for PBV, actually, we only buy this company 5 times of its value. Yeah. So not that high, because so many companies that trade it in the market like 10 times, 15, 20 times of the book value.
Right.
So it will come back to the how is the business? How do you see the business in the future? Okay. Is it a business that you want to be in for a long time, or you only get hype up right now.
Yes, on what's coming up. Although I have to say I actually enjoy watching movies, so that's something, that's a whole different, like, we're not looking at the numbers, we're just like how I feel about it. Now, one of the things that we asked those from XX1, we have a quote actually on this matter about the phase that they. Well, the competition comes both ways. They also have a competition. X1 have a competition from Cinepolis, CGV, other cinema chains in the country itself. At the same time, they are also competing with OTT, with streaming services. And this is there's a quote that we have from XX1 on what they have to say about their competition on the streaming service. How do you see the competition with that they have as a company that trying to go IPO?
Talking about this, I have to ask myself, when a movie come out, then will I watch this movie in the cinema? Will I go to XX1? Or will I just wait
and watch it
in the streaming services?
Okay.
So there is the questions that we should ask ourselves. So for like the reason one, the Oppenheimer, Barbie, of course I want to go to the cinema because I want to feel that effect, right? But for some other movie, I will just wait in the streaming services. So the competition will be not with the other chains. Yes, of course they will still have that competition, but come on, we know that the XX1 is the best in the market in Indonesia, right? We can enjoy the clean environment of the cinema, and then we can buy this food and beverages there.
Well, we're not saying the other ones is not clean. It's
not
just
clean.
They have a different standard, I guess.
Yes, we can say that. and we have another player in the market already since 2014, right?
Right.
And we can see that how they are performing in the market and also how is their cinemas actually. So the competition is not there, but then in the future, how will people behavior watching cinemas, watching movies? Like, because for people as old as I am, we are still prefer going to cinema. But for people that experiencing watching movies during pandemic, yes, for the younger ones, they even have like Let's Chill and Netflix. I'm so sorry, I mentioned that.
But yes, those are like some of the platforms that people enjoy to stream down. It's interesting that you mentioned Oppenheimer. I've been trying to check out how the IMAX performance throughout the week, and even until last night, it's still pretty much packed all the way to like the second row of the IMAX. I mean, but again, that's an anomaly, and like how often are we going to see movies like that? That still remain questions.
Not every single time, right?
It's not every single time. So I remember just last week they have Mission Impossible on the IMAX, but I think people
you can get the ticket anytime.
Right, like one of the I probably just get I know some people is like, I'm just gonna wait until it comes to streaming and all that kind of stuff. Now, talking about going back to XX1, they performed and managed their. During 2021, you know, pandemic, they cannot operate in a fully. They try to open up, but at the same time, you know, even when you go in, you cannot really go in. At the same time, movies, they're not really. Not a lot of people like releasing their movies. They were holding their movies. I mean, even KKN Desa Penari, which has reached 10 million in Indonesia, they waited until 2022 to release it. And then they broke that 10 million marks. Now. We have the quote from XX1 about this on their what they did during the pandemic. One of them, you know, they tried to negotiate with the malls and like the places where they rented the locations to lower the price and all that kind of stuff. One of the quote is, if we can pull up the quotes from XX1, but. Let's first look at the action taken by XX1. So what's your take? Again, obviously during 2020 and 2021, they have to go in debt because they cannot operate. Like operational still costs so high, but at the same time, I haven't seen they closing any of the movie theaters. But let's bring up one other point, which is from the IPO funds that allocated plan
that they are going to do.
So 65% is gonna develop. You're gonna open more XX1s, more cinema chains. But again, there's this conversation that's happening right now. The 20% payment of part of the debt principal to BRI. What's your take on this?
Actually, it is amazing. It is an amazing fact that they can survive the pandemic and then they can still operate during those 2 years, and then now they record 4 trillion, jumping so high from previous years. Yes. And then for this 20%, it is I'm hoping that they will use more of it to pay off the debt.
Oh, you actually hoping they're gonna pay more of the debt?
Because because obviously the debt, they have to pay the interest, right? They have to pay the interest and then everything. I'm not so sure that 20% is the good level, but it is already good. With this 20%, their debt will only last only 900 billion something, right?
Okay.
Still quite big amount of debt, but it will bring down the debt to equity. But then maybe if I have to mention this, the things that they did in 2022, they take out some part of their equity to pay the dividend to their shareholder.
They did.
They did. It is interesting because yes, we understood that for the last 2 years they suffered loss because of the pandemic and closing down all of their cinemas. And then in 2022, when they made the first profit, the very first profit, and then they decided to divide the dividend. So their equity from around 4 point something trillion down to only 2 point something trillion.
Okay.
So quite hefty amount of dividend payment there before they IPO'd.
Now let's go back to the quotation that the XX1 has for us. What they did during the 2020 and 2021 during the pandemic era. If we can pull up the quotes from XX1, it says that cinemas and OTT, this is the first one. It had for them, they see it like both of them have a room for to be on the same place. And again, if we see the other quotes from XX1 is. Now, throughout the history of the company, they already went through a lot of the crisis before. Again, 97, we are seeing it. 98, I'm sorry, not 97, but again, 2000. Like, however, the crisis changed the COVID-19 pandemic was significantly different from the previous crisis because of the health crisis had a major impact. Now, again, they also talk about they didn't give any bonuses to their executives and stuff like that. But again, you mentioned they did give some dividends. Now, our other quotes from XX1 is dealing with the ticket sales. If we can see the other one. On this one, we try to best to maintain the business in Cinema XX1, and the efforts paid off. We have overcome the COVID-19 pandemic without facing any layoff, reducing the numbers of cinemas. So
yes, that is amazing.
They didn't lay off anybody. Yes. And then one of the interesting things is that 2022, we didn't fully recover. Like it was mid-year that we can say that things started to get to normal. Like even like first half of the year, we still very limited.
And then the condition went back to normal is during the second half of the year, right? And yet they still can manage to record this 4 trillion and profit. Right. So that is very amazing. And for this year, for this 2023, the first quarter they record another loss. But then we can see that usually Hollywood only release the new movies during summer.
Yes.
Yes, during summer and throughout the end of the year, right? So we can still expect that they will have good business this year, and hopefully they can still increase. I said that yes, XX1 is very fantastic that they can manage their businesses and doing this all. And will I buy this kind of stock? Yes, I will, but I will not go all in right away right now. Okay. So I will just buy in sizable amount, but then I will see how the company going forward.
All right. So one of the things, as you mentioned earlier, Oppenheimer and Barbie is different than any other movies. Again, it took like Super Mario Brothers to actually reach to this number again.
Yeah.
It's the international release around 300 million throughout the world, not just Indonesia alone. Again, Oppenheimer's look like it's sold out every single day, and they're doing pretty good. But again, weak accounting ticket sales. But from time to time, we're not gonna expect this to keep happening without good movies coming out.
Yes.
Especially with the WGA and I'm sorry, the WAG and then the Screen Guilds actually on strike right now. So we don't know what's gonna coming up on October and December.
Yeah.
So that become a worry. Now, one was the interesting was if I go back here, let me see if I can see. Now the income right here. 61% is actually come from the ticket sales. Now 32% is coming from the F&B.
Yeah, yeah.
Should they start concentrating on expanding their food and beverages?
I think they should. I think they are already starting doing that. I mean, comparing to other cinema, I mean, this XX1 they're quite focusing here because they put so many efforts putting their what is it, the counter, they have good designs, and then they have a variety of menus and everything. So I think they are thinking about that, so they want to make this portion bigger.
To contribute to the whole income.
And you also notice, right, when you come to XX1, you have to wait like 10 to 15 minutes
before the actual movies
start. So they want also to make this
slice of the advertising
bigger.
Right. And then the digital platform is doing really well too. The Tix ID, you can buy off-air shows like for concert, and like we think concerts coming back up. I mean, this is all look good. Again, we're not suggesting anything from this numbers.
Disclaimer also always on.
Okay.
Always on.
The investing is always there's a risk on it. At the same time, if you may ask me if I will buy it, the only reason I will buy it because I actually gonna go watch a movie anyway.
Yes.
So my thinking is if I'm gonna spend money over there, might as well make money while I'm doing that. Now with that, we are going for a break. We will return to recap some news from earlier in the program. So stay here on the C Morning Show, only on C Today.